let's all pretend the facts will be done. Get ready for the smackdown. Get ready for the smackdown. They'll lie while the earth spins around. Watch out for smackdown. They cling to ancient misconceptions. We've got truth in our possession. No room for doubt, no time to waste. It's time to put flat earth in its place. Here comes the smackdown.
Ready? To MC Tune. I'm a little messed up. I'm a little frazzled today because I just got home and I'm excited for this rocket launch. And I'm currently live with Craig on his channel, FTFE. Don't even have him on screen yet, but everybody on his channel is seeing me. Now they can hear you at least.
Yeah, well, we were just discussing over on my channel how Bill Nye didn't do your studio setup for some reason, even though he did mine, and we're in the same studio, like, allotment. It's ridiculous.
Yep. Now, did you tell them what country we're both in?
Well, no, that's top secret, right?
Yes.
Say that.
Yeah, good. Don't want them to know that we're in Atlantis.
Like we're on Earth.
That'd be funny if they thought that. All right.
So we are T-minus 18 minutes 53. They're fueling up. Getting ready to go.
All right.
And it was only a few years ago that they were doing this.
What? I don't see it.
See it now?
Oh, yeah.
From there to here. It did land. It's not in one piece. It's fast going in there. It's a rapid, unscheduled disassembly. Landing burn failed. Course of true love never did run smooth.
Oh, that's, yeah. Love that. It's a bit high center of gravity for that.
Yeah. You realize how big these things are.
Oh, yeah.
That is coming in a bit fast. Oh no, first successful one. That was 9 years ago, the first successful landing. Now they can do it.
They can.
Now they catch them. In 16 minutes. Hello to everyone over on MC Tunes. How are you?
I'm great. All right, I've got it up on X here.
I I'm just watching it through the space.com YouTube channel because it probably have the best quality.
Are they doing a, is that what we're looking at here?
Yeah.
So I would think the source
like,
would be, like they're doing their own video though, right?
At the moment, but they are just showing the launch live, and this is like SpaceX's actual one.
All right, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna pull it up on X because
that first catch.
I think that would be the
space.com YouTube channel, which is this one, and the X account.
All right.
Yeah, so this is like the same thing that's on X right now, I guess.
In order to line up the booster catch. So if all criteria is met, we will attempt to catch, but there is a chance that we may not. Either way, we'll be getting tons of in-flight data, which is extremely valuable.
Exactly. That first catch.
We've got people in the chat over here. You're frauds, as they literally send a rocket to space.
Slurps are not smart.
Fraud alert.
Not even a little bit. All right.
Well, obviously right now, SpaceX are fueling up their CGI engines. They do take quite a bit to fuel up, actually, to get the CGI just right.
Yes. Did you know that accidental inhalation of DHMO, even in small quantities, can cause death?
DHMO.
Yep. Dihydrogen monoxide.
Oh yeah, that's water, right? You breathing in that is bad. Yeah, don't do that, guys. Although, I think we've been lied to, right, by the government. I want you to think about something, right? Out of everyone in the world that has ever died, right, they all breathed oxygen. I think they're poisoning us with oxygen.
I think you're right. That's a thing.
I mean, sheep just breathe oxygen. You just need to breathe pure carbon dioxide like me. I don't feel well.
All right. Let's see. I've got the one from X up on screen, but they don't have. You have two choices. You can watch it small, or you can watch it full screen.
Why would you want to watch it small?
Well, I don't want to watch it small, but I don't want it full screen. I want to be able to drag the window whatever size I want. So maybe there's a trick, but I don't know it. We do have a derpling later. It's Kevin.
Yes. So James says the reason that's not him on the thumbnail is that Kevin refused to send a side-on picture, and he only uses side-on picture so it doesn't get stretched when he puts it in the thumbnail. So he just used a stock image instead.
I love it, because the one that Kevin sent, I put on my thumbnail.
Yes, yeah.
I touched it up a little bit with the teddy bear. All right, I got to make the scene here, so hold on.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I did bring juice with me.
Juice. Juice.
Yeah, in Scotland, literally anything that you drink is just called juice.
Okay.
The blood of flirts, the tears of flirts, not the blood of flirts. I do not murder flat earthers and drink their blood anymore. I got told off. The Trying Scotsman for £5 says, apart from each other, who is your favourite flirt debunker? Apart from Toon and I, my favourite flat earth debunker is probably going to be Simon Dan, because he's just the OG. And if I don't say that, I don't get my yearly bonus. What about you?
Oh man, I mean, I like Dan. Not to diss Dan, but I got to be original. I like Cats. He doesn't do flirt stuff anymore much. But yeah, Cats is great. Oli de Hasselier is fantastic. But he also he said he got a little burned out and he had to kind of step back a little bit. So there's that. He's good. I like Bobby Shafto. He has a channel, but he mostly just posts raw evidence and doesn't like add any commentary. So
I already said Simon, Dan, so you don't need to. I think the bonus, because I'm on your channel and I still mentioned it, so you're fine.
I'm fine. Okay, good.
Mr. Shonk for $5 says they put a single banana in Starship's payload area. Did they? Okay.
No, they put a
As I see.
decal of a banana. Okay.
Just put a flat earther in there. No windows.
Yeah, similar to Antarctica. You probably just don't want to leave trash in space.
Well, yeah, it does come back though, right?
Well, it'll burn up in re-entry. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then the flirt will just be spread across the world and we breathe it in. We don't want that.
We don't want that. All right, no. I've got their feed. 8 minutes. 8 minutes.
8 minutes 49 seconds.
All right, Mark. Let's see. Olsey. Rossi says, Mark Beiser. Hey, Mark Beiser. DMSO is industrial solvent, true, and oxygen is a bleach. It must be removed from the air.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to start the anti-oxygen lead because I think it's just you see what that stuff does to metal, right?
Oh, I know. You take a perfectly good car, and well.
Oh wait, no, perfectly good car. I know we can't be dissing Elon, well, he's going to cut the feed.
Dude,
for
you
us.
can't. Yeah, and you're streaming out his stuff. I mean, dude, you gotta dance to the one that brung you, right?
Yeah, I would not buy a Cybertruck though.
I have seen a couple driving around in our neighborhoods, and man, that's a tough sell on the look.
It's like you playing a game on the PlayStation, like the original PlayStation. You know, they forgot to smooth out the edges and stuff.
Yeah.
Dihydrogen monoxide for £2 says, which flirt do you two hate the most?
Oh.
Hate is a strong word.
Who's the worst? The most awful human being?
That's probably Santos.
Yeah, it's Santos. Easy.
Yeah. I mean, and if I was to get close to saying I hate one of them, it probably would be Santos because he threatened to kill my mum. You know? Yeah. So, yeah, if there's someone that I hate, it would be Santos out of all the flirts. The rest of them, I just think are just, horrible human beings and, literal walking comedy.
All right. Apparently getting some echo from you.
Getting echo?
Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. Now I fixed that, but let me see if this happens.
It's 85% full on booster and not track.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Just if you just play the audio, we don't need to both play the audio.
Yes. Or did that feed to you?
Yes, it did.
I can change that.
Dihydrogen monoxide says hate isn't a strong word with Nathan Oakley and Santos. Yeah, but feeding me the audio is fine because we don't need to both play the audio. So if you feed me the audio as well, that's cool. I don't mind.
Okay, all right.
apparently my feed's a little behind compared to yours. I've got 6 minutes.
Well,
right now.
It's because you're doing another channel that's rebroadcasting from source.
Right.
So if we want to sync, we'd both have to play from the same source.
What's yours on?
X. So I went to spacex.com and then clickety click, and it says watch on X, and that's what I did. So
SpaceX.
Dora, well, listen to this. Dora Nku says, "Am I a bad person for wanting to see it go boom?"
Explosions are cool. You know, wanting to see an explosion does not make you a bad person. If there was people on there, maybe. But no, just wanting to see an explosion doesn't make you a bad person. However, if you don't look away from the explosion as it happens, you're just not cool.
If the problem is that, if it was IFT 1 or 2 or maybe 3, yeah, but we're past the explodey part of this testing, right? So
Essentially go for launch. So nothing to be worried about there.
I heard yours.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm just putting up the source instead of the rebroadcast.
So can you see this? You see this blinky here?
Yes, I see your blinky.
This is one of my 4 terabyte hard drives I'm bringing to backup data. And
Is it crying?
yep, that's one of them. This is the other 4 terabyte hard drive, which I wanted to be sure that the drives are good. So I whipped up a little Python script to write to completely fill the hard drive, and as it does that, to store the cryptographic hash of each individual file, and each file is I think 100 meg.
Yeah.
And stores that in a CSV, and then when it's done writing all of them, it goes back around and it reads them in and tests them comparing to the CSV. And this one here, the first time I ran it, it takes like 6 hours to fill it up and then test it all. 13 files did not match. Second time, I'm like, well, let's see if that was a fluke. Second time, 22 files did not match.
That sucks.
So yeah, so this drive's going back. So far, this other one is good. So
I've got a 10 terabyte hard drive sitting on my desk over here now.
ooh,
It's loud.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Signa Step for $2 says, Jeffy, tell Toon to tell Dora I said hi.
Who said that?
Signa Step.
Signa Step. Okay, Dora. Signa Step says hi.
His name. It's Signa Step. Okay.
Cygnus Step says hi.
Apparently, Ashton Richards' face fell off recently, and now he looks like the Crypt Keeper.
You mean Dearth?
You're aware that's not a thing that should happen.
Yeah.
This CGI is not bad, but I can see some glitches in the background with the skybox there. And I mean, that's obviously repeating wave patterns, right?
Oh man. The video where Elon is talking with Everyday Astronaut and they're walking around near the base of it, and then you actually get a feel for how big it is.
Yeah. Oh, the one where he's like, "Well, you're going to do that on the main one as well," and Elon's like, "Oh, now you say it."
Yeah. That's crazy. Dora says, just copy the same file and check MD5. That is complex enough for a disk check. It is. 1
minute.
Ooh. All right. Should I turn up the audio?
Yeah.
So as long as we don't have any last second things, which do happen.
Pat member for 42
All right, flight director just confirmed T-minus 1 minute.
Dude, your audio just sucks when there's something happening here. I'm going to turn off my...
Key moment to look at
There we
in
go.
10
See if that does anything.
That T-minus 40.
I need to figure out what happens with Zoom for that to be a thing.
Yeah.
And we
here.
flew right through that.
I gotta get my tab going.
Flight directors go for launch.
All right, we're now T-minus 20 seconds
All right.
until liftoff of Starship Flight 6. This will mark our second attempt to catch the Super Heavy booster at the launch tower. As well as
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Not yet. No boomy yet. Oh my gosh.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Booster Raptor, chamber pressure nominal.
It's crazy to get a live feed that quality from something moving like that, you know?
Oh, but that glitch obviously means it's CGI. I'm not on there.
If
right?
it was CGI, there would be no glitches.
Telemetry nominal.
They would just not CGI in the glitches. That's how dumb flirts are.
I know.
Oh my gosh. It's so consistent that like this isn't the nervous part.
All right, we're just a little over a minute
Maximum
into flight.
dynamic pressure.
We're about 6 miles away, so all the sound's still hitting us here. Hearing good call outs that power telemetry nominal, that's flying straight and true. We do see all 33 Raptor engines lit up on telemetry screens.
Minute 20 seconds and half the fuel's
Point,
burned.
we've passed through that point of maximum aerodynamic pressure, that max Q.
Wow. It's just beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, coming up in just a little over a minute from now is going to be hot staging. So
like
we're
when-
going to see.
Hey Craig.
When you
these
realize
six
that's like a
engines
literal
on the ship
skyscraper
ignite
Oh, I know.
while
that's just been
attached to the
flown
booster.
into
Just
space.
Before that, we'll
Hey,
see
Craig.
all but
Monkey
three
Cat
center
Pat says
engines on the
hi.
booster shut down.
He says hi.
And
Hi.
we call Miko, it's most engines cut off instead of main engine. And so while we continue to watch it go up,
35
a lot of our flight
kilometers in 2
controllers
minutes.
looking at all the systems around the tower. Again, we have to send
3,500
command.
kilometers an hour.
That's pretty fast.
just about 30 seconds away from hot staging.
Somebody in the background trying to get a little time, get their voice through.
Wow. But now, obviously, all the flat earthers say, "Look, it's going down."
Yeah.
And we
'Cause they
heard
don't understand it has to follow the curve of the earth.
is go for catch.
Booster engine cutoff.
There it
The
goes.
return flag is set for true.
Wow.
Ship engine startup. Stage separation.
My goodness, it turns
All right,
around quick.
Staging confirmed. 6 out of 6 lit on the ship. Booster boost back
Wow,
going.
look at
We
that.
heard that we are go for catch. Kate, Jesse, take it the views. Hopefully I got a booster coming home real soon.
Wow, from our view here, Dan, great views of planet Earth behind that super heavy booster. Right now it is performing the
Ship
boost
chamber
back
pressure
burn.
nominal.
Good news there, telling us that the pressures inside the ship are good. That is the second stage or the upper portion of the vehicle. Follow
Look at the
along with
speed
the telemetry
switching
on
there.
the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, booster is currently, super heavy, is currently in its
Whoa.
boost back burn. This boost back burn,
Avionics power and telemetry nominal.
this boost back burn lasts just a little bit over a minute. So we've got a little, approximately 30 seconds left.
We've had shutdown of that boost back burn. Up next will be hot stage jettison.
Man,
The view from the camera on the left, or from the booster on the left-hand side of your screen, and then tracking cam there on the right-hand side of your screen.
Cry, Flurfs.
We'll see
Go
the
on.
grid fin.
Cry.
Your offshore divert.
look at that.
And
They
we
just
also
tears.
see that
Drop that
the
off.
hot stage has been jettisoned.
Yes, visual confirmation of that there on your screen, which is great. Now the next
Starship is following a nominal trajectory.
step for booster is going into that landing burn. Again, it'll light up 13 of those engines and then pared down to 3 engines right before booster catch.
All right, now just real quick, we did hear the call out, booster offshore divert. Unfortunately, that means that we are no-go for the catch. As we said before, both the tower and the vehicle, as well as the operators on console, have been actively evaluating the commit criteria for that return to the launch tower. And unfortunately, we did not have a pass on those commit criteria. So we are no-go for tower catch.
What
And we
would the
did
commit
mention
criteria
that
be?
we're constantly evaluating the criteria
Could it
for
be
catch. There's a lot
fuel?
of things
Could
that
it
need to
be
go well in order to line that
engines
up.
that didn't work
Unfortunately,
right?
today we will forego booster catch today, but what you're seeing on your screen,
So where are they going to land it?
ship,
Water.
currently making its way towards the Indian Ocean, still
Which is
looking
flat,
good
right?
so far.
It's flat.
Exactly.
So the flighties
views there
say-
of the booster on the left-hand side of your screen, views of the ship on the right-hand side of your screen. Now, we said before
literally
that
falling
it was
from
not
space.
guaranteed that we would be able to make a tower catch today. So while we were hoping for it, like we said, it was pretty epic on attempt 1, but the safety of the teams and the public and the pad itself are paramount. So we are accepting no compromises in any of those areas.
Epidora is
Exactly,
sad.
and we're still going to get a lot of good flight data with booster even, but especially with ship. Again, we have an additional objective today to
Wait, do you see the ice wall there?
Space relight of
Yeah.
the Raptor engine,
Covering
which
the
again will help us
entirety of the-
set us
the
up
black
for
disk.
being able to do deorbit burns, which is
Ship chamber pressures are nominal.
which is important for orbital flights. And what you're seeing on your screen is a view from Super Heavy
So
as
imagine
it's making its way
lighting
back down to Earth.
Yeah,
a
once
rocket
again, we
engine
are attempting an offshore landing of
3,000
the
mile an
Super
hour
Heavy
headwind.
booster. So we have
Yeah.
seen this before, and
2,500.
it is still very fun to watch.
Or 2,000.
Watching it come down for a soft splashdown.
Mental.
Look how slow
off
it's slowing
the
down so
Gulf
much.
Coast of Texas.
Yeah, but it's still
1,600.
going
They're
like,
re-entering. We
1,000
saw
kilometers
earlier
an
there's
hour.
grid fins. There are 4 hypersonic grid fins. Oh, we can see.
Oh, they all lit.
Has begun on the Super Heavy booster.
Same pattern, 13 engines
Oh,
were light,
so much.
gone down to 3, just as we expected.
into the water.
What an incredible view of splashdown that we got today. Oh,
Did you land
super
it down?
heavy.
You can see it, but now watch. It'll be blocked by the horizon. Oh, they cut away.
So we'd like to confirm
Just before they
a
proved the
water
Earth was a
landing once
globe.
again for the Super Heavy booster.
I mean, they did that anyway.
Congrats to the SpaceX team for making that milestone as well. Now, ship continues to look good. You can see that it is, while all of that was happening, the crowd here in Hawthorne continuing to react to all
22,000
these
kilometers
amazing
an hour.
moves that we're getting. The next milestone is
Starship is in terminal guidance.
great news there. Starship terminal guidance, referring to what we see here on our screen, the upper stage, at about 8 minutes, 35 seconds or so, we have ship engine cutoff, which will be the cutoff of the Raptor engines.
There's
there
two
we go.
or three off.
They're still accelerating.
You
Yeah.
can see on our screen, ship giving us some incredible views brought to us by Starlink. This view is also very interesting because we can see basically the receding
How come they don't
timeline
get
that we
buffering with
referred
Starlink,
to
but I do?
earlier, where we mentioned we have
Well, they
removed
know
a
the
number
odor.
of heat shield tiles in order to test out and push the envelope on the ship and demonstrate what its capabilities are.
Ship engine cutoff.
Oh,
And there we just heard call out for SECO, ship engine cutoff.
So they're supposed to
Great news
relight
there.
now
Everything
at some
continuing to
point.
look awesome. Or
yeah, they're going to try and relight it, aren't they?
Full view looking aft on ship here.
Little bits of stuff floating around.
Ship FTS is
Because,
safe.
yeah, that's what's in the studio with the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wait till you see the
Nominal
mouse.
orbit
The mouse is going to come
There's
any
that call out we
second.
were waiting for. Confirmation of good orbital insertion for ship today.
it
Dihydrogen
has
monoxide
been
says
a
space
very
flight is real.
exciting
Womp womp.
afternoon so far. We'd like to send it back over to Dan, who can give us that live view experience. Dan, once again,
Simon
are you
Danzer.
okay after witnessing another Starship launch?
Yeah, totally fine. it's you guys have to be jealous. This is the only way to do this. This is fantastic. No, it was really cool to see a liftoff, 33 out of 33. Didn't go for the booster catch today. Initially, we were good, and then we tripped a commit criteria and did the offshore divert. So we went and did that water landing, as everybody saw. We'll dig into it a little bit more.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
But again, we've done it once. We've now done it twice. We're going to keep trying to do it, as this is just a core capability of Starship and what's going to make it so incredible. There's a lot left. We're just about almost 10 minutes into this flight, so about 50 plus minutes still to go. Ship nominal orbit, so it's on its way around the planet. It's going to attempt to do an in-space burn. We're going to light one of those Raptor engines, the sea level ones in the middle, just to help demonstrate that we can relight in that microgravity environment. Really critical for deorbit burns as we start to do some orbital missions in the not too distant future. And then following that, we'll see a ship entry, maybe a splashdown. As you guys said, we're really going to be pushing ship on this one. We're pretty much intentionally putting it in places where we expect it might not do so great, and all that's to try and help us learn, see if we were a little too conservative, and then maybe that opens up more capability for when we start catching them. But I'll check back in with everybody in a little bit. I'm going to tune in and watch the ship fly around planet Earth, and hopefully we see it re-entering in the not too distant future. Back over to you guys.
Spider Ancha, member for a month, says, what happens with what ends up in the water?
Testing by
They're going to
definition
fish it
is
out.
unpredictable, which we saw with super heavy
I'm gonna mute
splashing
them
down in the Gulf of Mexico today. But
for now.
So the Starship for the next 45-ish minutes will just fly around Earth at 26,500 kilometers an hour. Oh, look, it's my house.
It's not over your house yet. So here's what's interesting. There's these giant tanks of that are full of liquid oxygen and liquid methane. And when they're on the ground, gravity pulls them down. But when they're up in the air, like right now in the air, orbiting
in space,
they're not. They don't have gravity pulling it down. Plus, there's not a whole lot in there anymore. You saw there's just a little tiny bit left. So when you relight it, it's just sloshing around freely in this almost completely empty chamber.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know how they, but once you start boosting, then gravity, not the gravity of the the acceleration, pulls it all toward the bottom of the tank again. But before that, when there is no acceleration, I don't know what the answer is. How do they get that fuel to not be a problem, to be ready to go? I don't know. Sometimes they've used secondary things like helium tanks to do
like
things.
in tank pump or something that can force it to a certain part?
Well, no, it's a giant, almost empty tank. But Doris is probably an RCS boost. So, you could do a nominal acceleration that would then cause it to all get toward the bottom. So that could do it. I haven't paid attention to that particular method. But when it's coming back down, the same thing, right? When it's re-entering and you've got the rocket end pointing down, well, gravity is pulling it down, so the fuel will settle at the bottom.
Yeah, but when it's in space, maybe just, I don't know, the fumes are enough to set it off.
The fumes.
I don't know, like, there must just be enough there near the engines to start the ignition and move it forward a bit. Or...
Well, no, you can't, because the engines have turbo pumps, and if the turbo pumps are running it with not much in it, then it's a problem. So, yeah, Dora Nku says Scott Manley has done some videos on it. So, yeah.
Oh no, it's
something
cut
like
out.
that.
The CGI broke.
Oh no. It's think about the excuses. They're like, oh, the glitches, CGI. Like, with CGI, there's no glitches.
No. Why would you intentionally put glitches in with CGI?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it doesn't prove CGI. But then they're like, well, then that just proves that they put it in. Like, well, okay, it doesn't. It actually proves nothing, right? It's doing what is expected.
I'm just waiting to hear the excuses for the final experiment. Oh, it was a sun simulator. There's a hologram. You're all just lying.
So I have a list of experiments that are going to be done there. That I have and some others are prepping to do, and it's incomplete right now because I just put it together, but. Experiments, when you do an experiment, what do you need? What do you need to do? What's an integral part of an experiment?
Testing a prediction.
There you go. So you need a prediction, don't you?
Yeah. That's
So
kind of what it is, right?
That's the whole point. So there's a bunch of. Oh, there is a banana in there. I thought that was a joke.
Yeah. No, actual banana. El Nudo says Dr. Peel in space. Amazing.
So when you're testing the shape of the Earth, you take the globe prediction and you make a prediction, and you take the flat Earth and you make a prediction from using flat Earth. Well, and that's the thing that flat earthers, they hate to do. Because they are unwilling to entertain the possibility that flat Earth might be falsified. And the reason why they're scared to do that is because they know that every test will falsify flat Earth.
Every single one, and it always does. Flatzoid is still convinced you are not going to see a 24-hour sun in Antarctica.
Really?
Yeah. Now, he said that in our debate the other day, that you might see 24-hour light, but he doesn't think there's going to be 24-hour sun.
Wow. He will be eating his shoe then, won't he?
Oh, well, I mean, he also says that even if you do, though, it doesn't matter because it doesn't falsify flat Earth.
Of course it falsifies flat Earth. What's the prediction for flat Earth? Not seeing the sun due south.
Although technically the prediction for flat Earth is you see the sun all the time, no matter where you are.
Well, that's why I said due south.
Yeah.
Right. Early on it was. I am like, well, yeah, we have to be specific. It's the 24-hour circling sun. Right. The actual globe prediction, the actual flat Earth prediction is that 24 hours, but it would be due north at local midnight and locals noon. And it would alternate between northwest and northeast.
Yeah.
That's the actual flat Earth prediction. Never setting, because the sun could never set on flat Earth. But never due south.
Arguing with the Flurf today on X, and they're like, look, the sun's right there in the clouds. And I kind of had to point out to them that if the sun is literally right there in the clouds, then everywhere else on Earth should be night.
Yeah, they don't get it then. Yeah, that's the only place that's daytime. Plus, it's got to be moving 1,666 kilometers per hour through those clouds for flat Earth. Did you know that?
It's just sitting in the cloud.
Did you know that that's how fast the sun moves over flat Earth? 1,666 kilometers per hour.
Depending on the model, of course. I think a lot of Flurfs are going to go switch to the Pac-Man model after this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I suppose. Then
Just go with God did it.
A lot of them, long ago gave up a map because they knew AEVE map fails. But all the Flurfs, they start with the summer camp packet, the short list of Dubé stuff, horizon rises to eye level, and the horizon is curved left to right or not curved, and the AE map and ice wall and and the military stops you from going to Antarctica, and
penguins.
There's no penguins. They don't say penguins. Anyway, so they do it, but then they realize, wait a second, none of those things work. So they give them up, but they still think flat. Without any things that match all of a sudden. So the Dubé entry level stuff falls apart. And they're like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's fine.
Dihydrogen monoxide says, the hell is the Pac-Man model? Do you want to enlighten him to?
Oh, geez. So that's, there's a couple. There's one by Daz Nez, which is over in your area there. That's actually it's a diamond. It's shaped like a diamond. You got the North Pole and the South Pole at the top and bottom, and he's like, oh yeah, Antarctica's good, we can go there. And then it's shaped this it's a slightly rotated square, and then the sun goes across one side and then it jumps around to the other. Same with the one from Awake Souls and Limitless, Brainless, where it's a rectangle, and the equator does a S curve up and down, and Antarctica is on the bottom left and bottom right, and the North Pole is at the top center, and it's portals. Yeah, so the sun on this is hilarious. On the day of the equinox, the sun does this sine wave pattern, gets to one side and then flips over to the other side and does a sine wave pattern again. That's what they actually think it does.
Literally like Pac-Man. They go out that bit and come in this bit.
Yep.
Because reasons.
Yep. Just because.
And they refuse to debate you and I because these are one of the people that call us demons.
Yes. Well, I did debate Awake Souls, Jason Laufenberg. He's like, nobody can beat our map. Nobody can falsify our map. I'll debate anyone on it. And I said, okay. And that was the last time he had that offer out there. And I tested a whole bunch of things. I drew a straight line on his map across the United States or something. Said, okay, here's a flight across the United States. It's this long. It takes this much time. The United States has been surveyed. We know how big it is. Right now I'll take that same line and I'll put it somewhere else on the map, and it's dramatically wrong. He didn't like that.
Yeah, dihydrogen monoxide's a bit shocked that there's a pack. Dude, you have to remember that Flat Earth Aussie Jesus said the moon was dug out of the Grand Canyon by giants. That's not the dumbest thing. That Why You Are an Idiot said the moon was Fenner's chew toy.
Yeah.
And that there was a giant tree holding the dome up, which isn't there anymore, which is why there's a gradient, but also doesn't explain why the dome's still held up when the tree isn't.
Yeah, for several thousand years, the gradient hasn't equalized. I don't know how that didn't happen. But do you know the source of that tree?
What?
It was in the Bible, right?
Oh.
It was in a dream. It wasn't even a claim. You can't even point to it and say, oh, here, this is God saying that the earth is this. And no, this is some guy had a dream. And the guy that had a dream wasn't even one of the good guys. He was one of the bad guys.
And he told someone about this dream. He probably told someone else who wrote it down in the Bible, which has then been translated and mistranslated.
No, that's a misunderstanding, though. So it's not been retranslated like the game of telephone. The newer translations tend to go back to the source even better than previous ones because they have more sources to go to.
Right, I see. Yeah.
But who experienced it and who wrote it down is sometimes not entirely clear. So you've got a point there. The first 5 books of the Bible were said to have been written by Moses. But there are parts of it in the end of Exodus where Moses wasn't present. He couldn't have written it.
Cool. Tomorrow on the channel, I have Peter Markley coming on to have a civilized conversation with Dapper Dino about young Earth creationism.
All right.
Dapper, I think, is one of the best people to have a conversation like that because he's probably one of the smartest people I know. and it is really, really good at getting his points across in a a non-confrontational manner. I know Peter doesn't really want to debate it because he doesn't really have an argument for it from what I gather. So he just wants to have a discussion about it, which is cool. I like Peter. He is absolutely brutal at slaying the Flurfs.
Oh yeah.
Like it's unfortunately he's a young Earth creationist, but maybe we can help with that.
Here's one thing that I really do like about having people that are of these different positions, especially the young Earthers. Right now, I'm not of that opinion, but young Earth is almost a necessity for flat Earth. I don't know if there really are any non-young Earth flat Earthers. Maybe there are some. There's one or two atheist Flurfs, but very few of those as well. But Flurfs tend to equate globe with a whole bunch of things like Big Bang, old Earth, expanding universe, right? That they tend to equate all of them. And so they get really confused when somebody doesn't have those opinions. So when Peter's like, oh no, that's not my opinion at all, what can the Flurf say? It screws them up.
Yeah. Flurfs don't like you challenging their claims when they say something and then you say, oh, can you elaborate on that? And then they go, I didn't actually say that.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's not my model. Oh, well, what is your model? I don't have a model. Oh, we'll send then
you just claimed that someone does a thing based on the flat Earth. Isn't that your model?
Yeah, they're always claiming a model and then not claiming a model.
I'm still over the moon with Flatzoid's main argument on my modern day debates every day, because it makes his video so good. His main point for flat Earth was that planar surveyors ignore the curvature of the Earth. I shouldn't have to explain to a grown man that you can only ignore a thing that exists.
Of course. Well, the obvious, and he is, doesn't he say for a certain amount of area, right?
Yeah.
Now, he doesn't understand the difference between area and distance, of course. But
no, he doesn't. But he thinks 125 miles squared is like 125 miles long.
Yeah, by one wide, which isn't really what they mean. But all right, I'm not going to dig it out now. I've got the book surveying general. I don't know, a surveying book, and it states right in there that planar surveyors do take into account the curvature of the Earth when doing vertical measurements. And when they do small horizontal measurements, then they can get away with it. And Flatzoid, having absolutely zero understanding of how math works, cannot comprehend what that means.
No.
What it means is from left to right, right? This is what you're doing. You're doing left to right distances and you're measuring those angles. So if you were to take an entire 100 square mile area, which is only 10 miles by 10 miles, so you take a 10 mile section of it, to include the curvature of the Earth, you do not take the chord length, you have to take the arc length.
Yeah.
And if you're going to if you're going to ignore the curvature of the Earth, you just take the chord length of that. So in a 10-mile segment, and I don't have the numbers offhand, but Baron Rutledge likes to go over this on TikTok. In a 10-mile long segment, what is the difference between the chord length and the arc length?
Very little. Isn't it like a meter or something?
And that is the key. That there is the reason why planar surveyors don't need to do that. And the answer is that it's on the order of a couple millimeters, I think.
Right. Yeah. No, I think over like 100 miles, it would be like a meter or something. So,
it only matters for what planar surveyors can do, which is about 10 miles, maybe a little more. Yeah. Which is very, very small. So when you're looking at the size of something that's 10 miles long And if you're off by, let's say it's an inch. Let's say you're off by an inch over 10 miles. So you're going to put your fence post on the border of your property and somebody else's property, and it's going to be off by an inch. Is that acceptable? Yes, that's acceptable. In most cases.
I don't know. I've seen some videos about people arguing over an inch in their gardens.
I suppose.
Some of my favorite videos on YouTube are just neighbors arguing with each other over stupid things.
Yeah. Have you ever seen like the houses near each other where the one tree kind of hangs over, but it's just cut right at the boundary?
Yeah.
Like, oh, those neighbors don't get along. Because, I mean, my neighbor's tree hangs over ours. I'm like, I don't care. Right. And then when it gets to be a bit much, right, hanging down a bit, I'll just go trim it. Right.
Yeah,
the
neighbor's not going to get angry at you.
No. And then, yeah. And it's a walnut tree. So then I'm like, I like brush the walnuts towards. So I help him. I like collect them so that they're in more of a pile. He's like, I'll just take all the walnuts. You don't need to do anything.
I don't have a nice neighbor. I have a junky asshole neighbor that the other night at 5 o'clock in the morning decided to smash on my door with nunchucks and threatened to beat me up because apparently I was banging. I wasn't banging. I think it was in his fucking head. But after the last altercation where I went a little bit overboard, I promised my wife that I would not be aggressive if anything happened again. And I've been working on my anger, and I managed to take a breath and control myself and just tried to shut the door. But of course, my fucking dog ran out and started barking at him. So I'm trying to get the dog in, and I'm just telling him to go away whilst he's screaming he's going to kill me. And then he turns around to Riker and threatens to hit my dog. I called Riker in, and he came in, but and shut the door and called the police. But that playing through my mind of him threatening my dog is making me want to go John Wick.
That's not.
No. I will not smash my neighbor's face into the floor several times again. I will defend myself, however, if he comes at me.
Yeah. As you should.
Yeah. The funny thing is, last time we had a fight, a couple of years ago, I was a big old unfit fatty, and I still managed to, do to him what Hulk did to Loki in the first Avengers movie. Since then, I've been doing, extensive physiotherapy and training, and have become quite a beast. And he wants to start with me again.
Yeah, don't do that.
No.
All right, I've got. What did they say? 45 to between 45 and an hour when they're going to redo it?
Yeah. Let's see what they're saying. I'm not saying anything right now. We're just watching that.
In the meantime, I'm going to read a couple super chats here. I already got the Monkey Cat Pat saying hi. We got Darkstar 4400 says, and Flurfs think this stuff is fake. How terribly sad. What a sad life they live. That all the cool stuff that actually does exist, they say is fake.
Yeah, they have to say it's fake because they don't like it and it destroys their little religion. And what I found lately is a Flurf will start arguing with you and they're trying to say, what about this on the globe? And you'll explain how it actually works on the globe. And then the argument would just be, oh, that's ridiculous.
They get it explained to them. They don't like it.
No.
Let's see here. I'm going to get this.
Are we able to change the feed of what we're seeing? Is it different cameras? No.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Change what on? Oh no, you could go to a different channel. Like somebody said, Everyday Astronaut has their own thing, but I think Everyday Astronaut won't have cameras out by by Australia when this is landing. So we're kind of best here, I think, for this one. Verified file, 26,000 of 38,000 on my 4 terabyte drive here.
Is that good or bad?
It's good. No errors yet.
No errors, right?
Yes, no mismatches. That's the important part. All right. Icy Spin says, isn't a core tenet at NASA honesty? Liars no hire. That's right. Now, of course, flat earthers invent their own reality because they have to. So let's see. NXT-LVL, Next Level Ranch, says, oh, no, it broke through the firmament. Or now it broke through the firmament? Yeah, the firmament.
The thing is, if it broke through the firmament, wouldn't there be like a lot of water coming in?
Well, for flatties, it's crazy. The firmament is whatever they want it to be and however they need it to be to solve the current problem. So to them, firmament is
magic.
Is like hammered out metal. But also it's like water and it's mushy.
But also I was told it's the Van Allen belts.
It's also that. And normally when things slam into even water at 2,000-3,000 miles an hour, they tend to break up. But the firmament is so soft and cushy that even though you can't even see it at all, when things crash into it, it's just a little bit of a splish splash.
Yeah.
Insane. Pure insane.
Wait, maybe something breaking through the dome was what caused the Great Flood.
Literally, that's what they think.
Oh, is it? Right. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Windows. It says in the Bible, the windows opened up, something like that. Windows of heaven. So, yeah, like, that's obviously figurative. But nope, not to them. It's not. Dave McKeegan says there are some frames there to delete. So, yeah, this particular, that the landing where it hit the water was really good because we saw how tall the rocket was, and so then we can see where it got obstructed bottom up as it kept going farther down. So yeah, Flatzo's gonna have to delete some frames. CJ Lamero says experiment number 1, trying not to slug wits it. That's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. BMW 1000C for 24 euros says SpaceX lacked funding to CGI this landing. Is the space lie crumbling before our own eyes? I mean, obviously those are the kinds of excuses that they're going to have to just kick around. I'm anxious to hear what it was that they had to decide to scrub it.
Yeah, I wonder what the criteria is that they couldn't do. Someone in the chat saying I should get a restraining order against my neighbour. I don't know how restraining orders work in Scotland. I don't even know if it's a thing in Scotland, honestly. But if it is, considering he literally lives above me and is probably less than 2 meters from me right now, does that mean he wouldn't be able to come to his house?
No, they'd have to do something reasonable and say that he couldn't come within a certain amount of your front door, I suppose. Right?
I can hear him walking about up there right now, and I hope he can hear me talking about him, the prick. When I did my stream about, apparently they're going to burn again in like a minute or something.
Oh, all right. I'll get the audio going here.
When I did my stream about him explaining why I got arrested, he got really angry that stream was up.
Oh, he saw it?
To do the entry prep.
Oh, yeah.
So we're
I'm sure he saw it.
Positioned. And then it's going to start taking the brunt of all of that heat as you're coming in from well in excess of 10,000 miles an hour. That's all going to build up a lot of heat as you're encountering an increasing atmosphere, building up that friction, and we're going to see how the tiles fare. We've also got some pretty cool tile experiments that we'll talk about in a little bit. But coming up real soon, ship re-entry, successful relight, and we'll start this entry part soon.
So last time it sat at a certain elevation or altitude for a rather long time, and to burn off the speed. And so I was wondering, I had M2M on with me. We're wondering if that particular elevation was an Elon selection. Do you know how many kilometers it was?
Yeah.
Are you going to say it?
Sorry, I'm concentrating on two different things.
Oh.
How many kilometers up it was, did you say?
Yes, it sat at the same elevation for a long time. And I was pondering if it was on purpose. It was at 69 kilometers.
Oh, right. Yeah, knowing Elon, it probably was.
Yeah. The first launch was on
right now?
April 20. So I don't know what this is. There's not a lot of air at 121 kilometers, so it can't be. Yeah, they're just playing music. It can't be much. Wait, Eclipse Chris says for $2, they even CGI in a thunderstorm on Earth. Exactly. Technics1 for 5 Canadian says, I was thinking about the two 360 cameras offset from one another for TFE. Couldn't you use only a single 180 camera and point it up and have no seam? We could. We thought about that. There's actually a camera that's designed that way. It's a fisheye that's up. It's like $1,000, but we thought about getting one of those maybe, but then that just is one more thing and a bit more budget. And so, what do you do? Which one? Well, the 360 is cool, I guess, because it shows the ground around you. You can see the whole scene. You can see people walking around. As part of the cool thing of it is that people are going to be walking around and we're all going to be on there. So it's just going to be a real-time video of 24 hours of just us there as we're there or not there doing whatever we're doing. So,
all right. Oh, what are they doing? It looks like something's going on. They're dropping in altitude. They're obviously starting to skim the atmosphere.
It's still just music. So at 100 kilometers is the Kármán line, but really at 100 kilometers, and you'll see this, it doesn't get very hot at 100 kilometers. There's some. And it doesn't really start to drain down the speed very much at 100 kilometers.
No, the speed hasn't really changed.
You need to get down toward 70 kilometers until it actually does much of anything. So it's at 26,000 kilometers per hour, and it's 110 kilometers. And the velocity is just sitting there the same, basically. So it's not...
Speedbeam says that they think that's just the sunrise reflecting off of it.
That could be. Because they're coming around to the lit portion of the globe. And just ask where's Wally to quickly build you another full sky camera. And you could send it with critical think.
Yeah. A lot of flat earthers are complaining there's going to be no constant live feed of the whole thing.
Of what?
Of you being in Antarctica.
A constant live feed of us being in Antarctica in a place where there is no cell service.
Yeah.
That would be a bit of a fishy thing if that even existed. But
the fact that there isn't a live feed is apparently fishy and is proof that you're all just paid shills and going to lie about it.
Yeah. Well, I will be recording all the time that I'm awake, including the plane ride. So from Punta Arenas to Antarctica, and I'm looking at maybe getting a GPS tracker to wear the whole time. So we are.
That'd be good.
We do have a Starlink coming with us, and it's a maritime one, so it's a pretty big one. And
oh wow, because you can actually just get the mini ones now.
You can, but there aren't as many satellites over 80 degrees south latitude.
Nope. If you look, like, you can see where most of the satellites are, but then if we go to Antarctica, there's actually very, very few of them compared to everywhere else because they have to be on a different orbit.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they're about to do the burn.
Yeah. Still just music. All right, I'll keep that going. So,
It looks like a wick or something inside there.
I think that's solidified oxygen probably. So do they have outlets? So where we're going to be doing the observing, I'm told that there's a generator there. So
right. Be able to keep things charged.
Yep. Yeah, so we'll have it like a charging station.
Be wary of generator because obviously that's a finite source. You know, it's not just like having infinite energy when you plug in. A generator is powered by fuel which runs down.
And fuel has to be brought in. There's no gas station.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you know, you can't guarantee that you're going to be able to charge your phone if you want to, if the generator is being used for other purposes and stuff, you know?
So I have 6 of these. I have 2 right here. I've ordered 4 more. They arrive tomorrow. Right. So these are each 27,000 milliamp hour bricks, which is what the FAA allows. And then because the FAA has that, it's basically the rule for everybody everywhere. So, and they do use American outlets in Antarctica, in Punta Arenas. Everything is Chilean. So I have a converter for when I'm at the hotel, but in Antarctica, it's all American. So the evidence hurts for $5 says I've been tuning out Flurf stupidity lately.
Welcome back
to them, everything is fake. There's a conspiracy. Math science is wrong. I can't take the lunacy anymore.
We lifted off from Starbase at 4 p.m. Central
There's only
Time.
so much you can take.
Just how they are.
And ship had a successful separation as well as a good boost back burn and good separation of the hot stage adapter. We did not attempt a return to the launch site and catch attempt today when strict criteria were not met and the Super Heavy booster executed a planned divert to a landing burn and soft splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico.
I want to know what those criteria were.
Obviously, we were hoping to come back to the tower, but this was a test and we knew that it was a very viable possibility.
Starship is at 85 kilometers. Flaps now have control of the vehicle.
All right, great news there. Turning our attention over to the star of the show here, giving us these amazing views once again.
Hardly moving.
We heard the call out there telling us that the Starship
altitude
vehicle
83.
is now 83 kilometers above, coming up around T plus. Now actually, the ship, as you can see, is beginning to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. As a reminder, one of the main goals of today's flight test is for the ship to make it through the extreme heat of reentry and to do so in a controlled manner. Now, reentry is typically a portion of flight where we don't have communication capability with the spacecraft because it's re-entering at or around orbital velocity, which is roughly 8 kilometers per second or about 5 miles per second. Now, at those speeds, pretty fast. The spacecraft is moving through the atmosphere rather quickly, and that results in friction, as we can see that starting to happen on our screen, and this creates a plasma
79
field around the vehicle.
Speed's still barely moving.
Blanket of plasma distorts communication frequencies, so it's not uncommon to experience brief blackouts in communication.
Which is obviously the problems with doing the live CGI.
Starship is approaching the peak heating phase of entry.
Hey, thank you, PhD Tony.
What's up, Tony?
And we just heard we're getting into the peak heating phase. We're getting these views courtesy of Starlink. We've got 4 different terminals on the ship itself. It's what's really allowed us to get real-time data during what's otherwise been just a mystery box, essentially.
There goes
for
the
spacecraft design,
speed down.
when you're
there they
re-entering
go.
through the atmosphere.
76 kilometers an hour.
Getting anything in real time.
Our elevation
hasn't ever been possible before, but we're able to not just get these views, but real-time telemetry from the ship as it's
Slowing
coming
down quite
through.
quickly.
Not yet.
Do really want to stress that we are really pushing the ship today. The heat shield is not in the same configuration as it was last flight, where we had a team of ship techs do just an otherworldly task, replacing the entire heat shield.
Speed's really dropping.
Thousands of tiles, installing a backup ablative, and that pretty much set us up to do a pinpoint landing on Flight 5. We did not do that with this one. We have some backup in those really sensitive areas around the flap, but this is an older generation heat shield. And knowing we weren't going to do that,
so they've done the reignite already. Did we miss that?
Some extra tiles. There are some missing tiles on the nose cone where we're testing some backups. There are some steel covered tiles in a couple of different spots, and there's also a whole lot more steel of the ship showing. As you guys talked about, we gave it a little bit of a haircut, a couple hundred tiles trimmed off the sides, and that's where we might have catch fittings in the future. But color's starting to come in.
Parts of
so
ship.
It looks like things are going to start heating up, Kate and Jesse.
Yeah,
probably
fun fact,
parts
Dan,
of ship turning into
2,100 heat shield tiles from Starship in order to basically present that necessary receding line, which you kind of can see there in your view. Think back to previous flights. The heat shield line came up further on the vehicle, and just like Dan said, we want to test the vehicle beyond what we think it is capable of carrying based on our simulations and calculations. So once again, to just be super plain, don't be surprised if we see some wackadoodle stuff happen here. We won't be. There are a number of things that we are testing out intentionally to see what the ship can take.
Hey, Terry Tickles.
Yeah, exactly. And knowing what those limits are will really help us design the vehicle of the future. Essentially, removing those tiles helps us remove a lot of weight from the vehicle, a lot of things that might potentially need refurbishment in the future. And the goal is to come up with a heat shield pattern or design that we don't have to refurbish. We can just continue to use it over and over again. And that's why we're changing some of those tiles and
Dora's hoping for a boom.
Stuff around, removing a lot of those tiles, as Kate has been mentioning.
Exactly. And, looking forward to the Starship capability of the future, we want to be able to catch Starship like we do with boosters. And so the next flight, we want to better understand where we can install catch hardware, not necessarily to actually do the catch, but to see how that hardware holds up in those spots. And today's flight will help inform, does the stainless steel hold up like we think it may based on experiments that we conducted on Flight 5? Now, continuing to look, amazing views. Yeah, Dan, go ahead.
That speed's dropping really fast.
I was going to say, there's so much on this 69 flight now that we're doing to try and, make all the ships that we're about to start flying even better, just really understand what their capabilities are going to be. We've got kind of the next gen ship lined up for Flight 7. It's got all of those heat shield upgrades and everything. And one of the things that we're going to be doing that's most interesting, and one of the reasons we wanted daylight, is we're going to be flying pretty aggressively as ship comes in. We're going to be kind of nose down. And we've done it in wind tunnels. We've done it in simulations. You might see the flaps really flapping around, trying to control the vehicle. We're betting we might have a little bit more capability than we think in just the analysis, but always a chance that bet doesn't pay off. But that just helps us know, what are our
Starship
limits.
is now halfway through the peak heating phase of entry.
Well, thanks, THC Tony.
Halfway there, halfway home, guys.
Does that sound like Tony to you?
You guys, again, can follow along with the altitude and the speed of ship
Craig?
as it's making its way back down to Earth, bottom right-hand corner of the screen.
SpaceX.
Speed is still going really fast. Again, as it gets closer to Earth, we'll see that altitude drop a little bit faster. It's kind of dropping pretty slow right now. And again, as we get closer and closer
it's at 66.
Literally the surface of the water, then we'll start to see that speed pick up. And if we can make
Look
it
at
through
the turbulence behind
re-entry,
the flap there.
We will attempt to do that flip maneuver once again, splash down in the ocean.
Exactly. Like we've been saying, we are testing beyond the perceived limits of the vehicle. We want to go learn more about the ship, and this is a great opportunity to do that. So really pushing the flight hardware in a flight environment to help inform these future designs. As we've mentioned, it has a different heat shield. This heat shield is not the same generation as what we flew last time. This one is one generation older. So we are also testing out new secondary thermal protection materials. So basically, like if the heat shield isn't in this one spot, can this other material protect the metal is the thinking there. Also checking of the ship's structural strength in those areas where we're looking to add that ship catch hardware just to see if it survives entry. So yeah, as we've been saying, we've done a lot of calculations and simulations. This view right here is super cool. This is looking out from the aft engine bay, basically at the bottom of Starship.
The aft engine bay as opposed to the front engine bay.
Panel, if you will, we have one of the forward Starship flaps. So one of the flaps located at the top of the vehicle.
No, of course not.
Underneath that is one of the aft end.
That's not how you design rockets. What do I know? I'm not a rocket engineer.
In the main picture there on the right-hand side of your screen. Now, these views as the vehicle continues to enter the Earth's atmosphere, drawing a crowd once again here at
that
SpaceX
line
and
there
Hawthorne
out the top left there.
In as the mission continues
Something
on.
is exposed.
Now,
it looks like
the next event that we have coming
that's
up,
causing that color.
we should hear the call out that the vehicle is transonic around
now it's burning off that speed.
Or so. That means that the vehicle is traveling near the speed of sound. We say near the speed of sound because there's certain parts of the vehicle where airflow is going faster and other parts where it's going slower. So it kind of teeters there on the brink of the speed of sound.
How would you like to be inside that?
Once we have people flow on all parts, then we'll hear it subsonic.
Yeah, no.
And almost real quick, almost
you
a reverse.
The G-forces you'd be feeling.
Sorry, just almost a reverse of before. We see the Earth starting to come into view. We've got sunrise there over the Indian Ocean. So this is going to look different from any of the re-entries we've had before. And it was specifically so like we get as much daylight as possible to see how ship does.
Ashton Richards, what an amazing production! Simply
over to you, Justin. Sorry about that.
Yep, that's it. Just to mess with them.
That's exactly what I was going to point out.
How many rocket launches would you actually do if all you were trying to do is fake stuff?
With the different temperatures that we're seeing,
not 100 a year.
Of that plasma around the ship, which is really, really cool to see.
Tyrion says that heat is by compression gas, not friction.
We are pushing the limits of ship today, but so far everything is looking pretty nominal.
There's a blurb in the chat.
We'll see how the next few minutes goes.
Yeah, like we've said before, don't be surprised if this is not entirely smooth sailing all the way down to the ocean's surface. Similar to Flight 5, we are targeting the same splashdown location in the Indian Ocean, but we are not expecting to recover the vehicle.
Right, and we were getting some glimpses of the flaps. The flaps so far are looking pretty good. We're not seeing any burn through. There's those flaps again in that hinge area, which is our most concerning area.
Pretty good so far.
That's great news for us for now. Again, the next few minutes could change as we continuously push those.
What's that? Why are they just letting it land in the ocean?
Yeah, once we slow down a little bit, once we're subsonic essentially, so I think it's about 1,200 kilometers an hour.
They haven't built a second tower to catch it yet.
That's when we're going to kind of dip our nose down and get that more.
They're working on a second tower.
Normally we're just
they're talking it might be at January.
That position, but if we're going to be able to do return to launch sites, we're going to want to be able to fly with a little bit more of an angle of attack, get you a little bit more range as you're coming through.
Angle of attack.
This will be just a test to see quite how far can we push it. And obviously we're going to do these kind of tests way out here in super remote areas before you ever try to bring a ship back to a place like Starbase.
Starship remains on a good entry trajectory. External temperatures are coming down.
Yep. Thank you, PhD Tony.
All right, great news there. That tells us that we are through the phase of peak
sounds like
heating.
Him so much.
So we are expecting these temperatures to continue to come down. Once again, we are targeting a soft splashdown in the Indian Ocean. Around off the northwest coast of Australia. We can see these beautiful views of planet Earth coming in, this is very different, where we had nighttime views of the ship as it was
That is
entering,
amazing.
and now we've got daylight. It is about an hour or so after sunrise there in the Indian Ocean. So pretty cool to see this.
Yeah, and it might
Yeah,
not
it is.
seem
It's
like it makes a
amazing.
huge difference, but we do get a little bit more light on ship as well for the camera views that we have, which is very beneficial for us to visually see anything and try and correlate that to any of the sensors or data that we have on the vehicle.
Exactly. That is why we
Nearly
shifted
done
our launch window
11,000
so that we
kilometers an
could
hour.
have that
Yeah.
daylight in
Half the
order
speed it
to
was going.
improve
Dropping a
our
lot now.
observations of the vehicle. So not only are we getting all the raw data from all the sensors that are on board Starship, but we also have
seems like
multiple
it's-
cameras and
it's
assets
all
out
good
there
now.
that are
Looks like
watching
it.
the vehicle
Yeah,
and
like-
will also be able to tell us
Like the
with this visual
concern
story that is also
didn't
very,
happen.
very important.
And as we get down a little bit lower,
See the color
Raptor
changing
engines
with the
are
heat.
in their chill
Yeah.
phase right now. So just essentially getting them primed to turn on. We're going to use those 3 center engines to do a landing flip and then a landing
Excuse me.
burn. So we'll come down kind of in that slightly pointed
Yeah.
down belly flop and then fire off
That's
those
better
engines
than
to
last
flip
time
us
even.
around,
And they
then do
pushed
that
it harder.
landing burn. That
Yeah.
should be coming up in
Very
just
nice.
a little over, just under 5 minutes from now. And then hopefully we
Just
start
about
hearing some
8,000 kilometers an hour.
call-outs on transonic and subsonic as we slow down. Again, once you hear Starship as subsonic, keep a close eye on the flaps. They're going to be working overtime essentially to maintain control of the ship as we get a little more aggressive with this.
So,
42
Mr. Spank
kilometers.
is saying that there's creases. And if you look at the previous view, that's a little red there.
We can see that we
Oh, yeah.
are beginning.
Starship has passed
That's like a
maximum
hole.
entry dynamic pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Tony's saying something.
Yeah.
All right, great call out there. But we can see on this view here that we do have some heating there on that looks like one of the forward flaps on Starship. This is to be expected. We knew that the vehicle would perform differently than what we had
I
seen
see that, Sean
on
Humphrey.
Flight 5. This is actually really good data because it tells us what parts of the vehicle at this, what will soon be a higher angle of attack
So
once we
the
drop down
creases on the main window
below
here
the speed of sound.
Are
We'll have a
potentially
higher angle of
from
attack, meaning we're gonna
liftoff,
be
says
flying
Mr.
nose down,
Spank.
basically.
Could be.
So yeah, this is good news, but we can actually, looks like that heating is starting to cool off there.
Yeah, it's a little burn through. Again, it is important
Yeah, it looks like
to
it's got an actual
note
hole in
when
it.
we start seeing that through the ship's descent as
Well,
well. So
things
like
are moving
Kate was
now.
saying, we're getting some really good data here. Looks like
Joe Black says he can see the pub
are
from there.
doing a little better than the one that has a little burn through, which is some good news. Again,
20
constantly
miles up,
watching. We've
traveling
got
about
a couple minutes
2,000
until
miles
we're
an hour.
expecting to make it all the way back down to Earth.
Exactly. And like we said before, we are not expecting to recover the ship, although that would be great. It'd be a nice bonus if it happened, but it's not really in our expectations today. We really want to push the hardware, as we've been saying. But really, the telemetry and the data and the video that we receive all the way to the end is truly what we're looking for and will help inform.
Yeah, I mean,
the
a
future
lot of effort's
designs
gone into that
of
CGI,
this
right?
vehicle.
We could see some flap movement as the camera is moving around. That's what you're seeing
poor
there. Is the
mouse.
flaps adjusting. And we have a camera
likes
on
some flap
one of the
movement.
flaps there. This is the view that you're seeing there.
1,000
You
kilometers.
can also see
It's
the graphic in the bottom.
Starship
transonic.
is slowing down past Mach 1.
There it is.
About to come.
Call out
below
aligning with
speed of
this. You can
sound.
see the orientation of the vehicle starting to change. You can follow
Yeah,
that
they go
graphic
below
at the
the
bottom
speed
of
of
your
sound now.
screen. Again, that is why those flaps are changing. They control the orientation of the vehicle.
Yeah, there are
Yeah,
four.
this
Go
is-
ahead, Dan.
Starship has started the subsonic belly flop, remains on a good trajectory.
I was going to say
Thanks, Tony.
this is when things will start to get a little interesting. So this is when we're moving slower.
I
than
didn't know
speed
that he
down.
highlighted
See
as
that
like,
slowly
SpaceX
starting
control
to tip
engineer.
down. And we're going to try and maintain flap control
I
the whole
can't
way.
not
but
hear
we are
his
just-
voice. It's
just a couple
totally
minutes away
him.
From hopefully doing a landing.
Now
flip.
you've said it. That's all I hear.
Landing flip and landing burn if the flaps can hold together.
Yeah, this is such a cool view. This reminds me
pretty cool, isn't it?
of when
Yeah,
we
about 10
first
miles,
performed
about
the
6
belly
miles
flop
up now.
maneuver
Yeah.
on the high altitude test with serial number 8.
Wow.
We saw the ship come back through, and I always wondered what it looked like from the ship's perspective, and this perspective, I think,
300
helps
miles an
inform
hour.
that. We will be, as Dan said, we will be dipping down a little further and really be flying nose first.
Oh, those flaps are
This higher
struggling.
angle of attack, we're intentionally doing it to stress those aft flaps, and that will help inform the limits of flap control in order to collect data for future
Yeah,
landing
Elon's got a
profiles.
very test by destruction method, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But it
I
works.
mean, we're looking
Yeah.
good so far. We've just got about 5 kilometers in altitude to go.
It's only about 2 miles up now.
We'll ignite the engines when we're still just a couple hundred meters over the ground, do that flip.
Starship is
and
passing
landing.
through 5 kilometers altitude, remains on a good trajectory.
Oh, you could.
I have
oh,
a feeling this is going to
part's so
look
cool. How
so
you can
cool
see
as it passes through the clouds.
Yeah, that's amazing.
the
Look at
near and
that.
far. Oh, this is
Obligatory
perspective,
shout out to the
laddies.
entire avionics team on Starship.
And there's that nose down orientation.
Flaps are doing a lot of work.
Now the Raptor engines will relight and help flip
1
the
kilometer.
coaster back up. This is a more severe flip given the orientation. The engines will shut down prior to the water
Blast
making
the
impact,
clouds.
prior to the
They
vehicle
can
making
see the
impact with
waves in the
water.
ocean now.
Oh my
The
gosh.
ship is doing great so far.
Fire.
There's those engines relighting.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
What a great reorientation by Starship.
Oh, that would be so crazy to be on there.
All 3 down to 2 into the water.
I mean, that seems to go pretty perfectly, right?
Oh my gosh. That's as good as it gets.
Here we have ship splashed down in the Indian Ocean.
Boom. Oh my gosh. Is that from the? Oh, that's from the buoy.
Cam action here. Daylight
It's on
views.
fire. Wait, it's in the water. It's on fire.
Splash some water on it.
Incredible. We really put
Dave
the limits on
McKeegan for
ship and made
£2
it
says
all the way
test by
back down to
destruction is
Earth.
what he's doing with Twitter.
I am shocked, to be honest. I think many folks are. The fact that it survived all the way through while
Wow.
flying a lesser gen heat shield
That was-
is just absolutely incredible. And turns out the vehicle had more capability than our calculations predicted. And that is why we test like we fly.
Exactly why we do that. And those views were absolutely incredible to watch. Because of Starlink, we were able to get the views all the way down, as well as the buoys, seeing ship touchdown in daylight.
So cool. So cool. Now we want to, unfortunately, wrap up the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Aw.
We'll say congratulations to
Well,
our teammates
sorry,
at
Dora,
SpaceX
you didn't
and
get
to
an
everyone
explosion.
who supported the Starship program. And thank you to all of our future customers for your support.
We'd also like to thank
Future
the people of Cameron
customers.
County, Texas, as well as the Coast Guard, the Federal Aviation Administration, the government of Mexico, and
All right. They are marketing.
Yes, of course
They're
they have
marketing.
to. I mean, what better time to market when there's 6.9 million people watching?
Yeah. All right. So somebody said switch to NASA space flight. All right. Hold on.
On YouTube.
So yeah. All right. I gotta fix the scene here because you're not in a good spot.
Oh, sorry, I moved myself.
It's okay. There we go.
Oh yeah, NASA spaceflight just seems to have images from the buoy. Oh yeah, you can just see it on fire in the distance there.
Do they have what
Sorry.
what feed do they have?
They seem to have a feed from a buoy out there or a ship. I'm not sure. Maybe no. Actually, it looks like there's some. Maybe they've got a drone that's flying around.
Like, oh, that'd be interesting.
So it does seem to be moving quite fast relative to actually where the ocean is. I think it might be a drone that's flying a distance from it. That's
right.
a pretty cool shot, though.
I got it coming up here. A second. All All right, there we go. Let's see.
It looks like a helicopter is just going to check it out as well.
Oh, yeah. There's a fire there. And there's
Monkey Cat Pat Pat $5 says, rip to that banana. It will go down as the greatest banana in history. Yeah, Dr. Peel's banana has been dethroned.
And
Dr. Peel's banana. All right, let's see. I got a couple here. Let's see. We got Eclipse Chris says NASA space flight. This is who we're seeing right now. Have a video of the booster flames being blocked by some sort of water bulge. Must be a massive swell or something like magic.
No. It's those water mountains. You've heard of them, right?
Yes, Patrick. Whatever. What's his name? Butler. Patrick Butler and his water mountains.
Everyday Astronaut has a feed of the booster still floating.
All right.
Oh, awesome.
He's pretty good. I like his stuff.
Oh, he's just. I'm just going to rewind that a little bit so we can see a bit of that. Oh, wow.
That's just his face.
Yeah, I'll rewind round it a bit. It was about, we just got to it just as he changed.
Oh,
so I
okay.
went back about a minute just to check it out. There seems to be a boat to the left of it and a helicopter to the right. Cool.
Wow.
The thing is, seeing it on video, it is almost deceptive because you don't realize how big these things are. You know, it's a literal skyscraper of metal.
Yeah.
You know? And they just flew it into space and then brought it back down in one piece. That's crazy.
They don't have a person like standing there next to it for scale.
No.
But when you do, you're like, oh crap, that's huge. But the clip of the camera on the fin as it's coming down, you're like, oh, well, that's just, that's the fin. It just looks like it's small. It looks like it's a model rocket.
But that fin is probably bigger than your house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there
so
it
that was
is. All right,
amazing.
so here is.
Unfortunate they didn't get the chopsticks, but I'd be interested to know what criteria wasn't met.
Yeah.
Because from what I could tell, the launch site, the weather was good. There wasn't any wind or anything.
Well, and they knew pretty quickly too.
Yeah,
it was early.
Yeah. So maybe it was the trajectory of the launch wasn't exactly where they wanted it, so it wouldn't have been safe. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna try and find out what that criteria was. But even if they didn't land it with the chopsticks, we know they can do it because they've done it. It'd be nice to see it done more. But seeing it land in the ocean like that, it is still really, really cool. How precise and just. It's like watching a ballet, but again, you don't realize how big that thing is,
That's what she said. All right.
What, your mum?
No. Yeah. When people talk about your mom, I'm like, oh. Well, she could use a friend. I think that'd be nice if you were going to be doing that with her. No. All right. Let's see. We got the turtle moves to Starlink is banned from 80 degrees south by the penguins.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good point.
Did you hear about the penguin? Did you hear about the penguin that swam 2,000 miles and ended up on a beach in Australia?
No.
Yeah. There was just a family on a beach in Australia, and all of a sudden, a penguin pops out of the water, and it literally swam 2,000 miles from Antarctica to Australia, and seemed a little bit confused.
Wow, it's like, oh, well, I'll just head back then. Got lost. Dora Nku says, no boom, good job, SpaceX.
Slithery has given us some further information. Apparently, the tower antenna were damaged during launch.
Oh, then they didn't want to send somebody up there quick to fix it?
Yeah, I mean, surely they've got like Bob's on standby. Quick, up you go. Sort it
Yeah.
out.
Bill Nye. Just send Bill Nye up there.
Well, no, it wasn't done properly.
Just scramble on up. Oh, that's true. Right.
Do you not remember when like it was the NASA barbecue and they let Bill Nye cook the burgers? You know, I remember how bad that was.
Oh my gosh, 75 people got cancer and died at that barbecue.
Yeah,
that quick. It was turbo hyper cancer just because of Bill Nye. I swear. All right. Dave McKeegan says, I wonder if the banana survived. And then Albino Bad Guy says, that can't be PhD Tony. He hasn't lost his cool and yelled at anyone yet. That's a good point. I'm going to end the poll. Is that, do you hear PhD Tony? Poll says 71%. Yes. No are 28%. Who said no?
It was definitely PhD Tony. We need to actually find out. He should be asleep, man.
I know. And then Darkstar 4400 says the banana gave its all for science. Maybe we
I've
should.
got a really nice flat earther in the chat here called Cleon Jamison, FTFE. I hope you lose your leg, liar. I hope I lose it too. I'm just waiting on the NHS.
Oh, I know. Thank you for the well wishes.
Man. Cheers. Oh, God, I'm hoping it happens sometime soon. So yeah, thank you, bud. I appreciate it.
Who is it?
Cleon Jamison. Cleon Jamston.
Cleon Jamston. Wow.
Cleon Jamson.
Is that the real name, you think?
I know, it sounds like a fungus.
It does, but I don't know. I'm sure that this flatty will be wanting to come and debate you.
Oh, no, they'll run when you mention debate. Although I am I'm supposed to be debating Matthew Harrikim in the next few days, maybe this weekend.
Hakeem?
Yeah, him. And then I've got Angel on the 15th of December. Me and Max are teaming up against Angel and Flat Earth Aussie Jesus.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, I know, right? I feel sick.
You remember?
Literally, here's my plan, right? I'm not even going to speak to Flat Earth Jesus. Not once.
Yeah?
I'm literally not going to acknowledge that he is in the call. I am only going to speak to Angel, and I think that will piss him off.
That's a good idea. It would, remember there was that, he was taunting us a couple years ago by saying that he had brain cancer, right? Like don't tease us like that, man.
Yeah, man, come on. At the moment, if you look at his channel, he's been going through a bit of drama with his landlord. He's physically attacked his landlord, and now he's arguing with someone because he's been illegally storing his equipment in their shed without rent or something, and they've sold it. Okay. And he's really, really angry about it, and he's been going on some of the most crazy rants I have ever seen. I've been emailing with someone that's like, I feel like I might contact the local authorities and get them to check on him at this point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Man.
Max is in the chat and he says, we can do that. I deal with Ross. All right, that's a deal, Max. You do not speak to Angel, and I do not speak to Ross.
It'd be even better if neither of you heard Ross.
Oh, Max, can we do that? Just neither of us speak to Ross at all.
He brings up a point, and then when you get a chance to respond, you respond directly to Angel, specifically calling him out by name. Say, Ross says a bunch of stuff. You're like, okay, well, Angel, you made a point here a little bit ago about this, and I think
yes, we have to. Yeah, Matt agrees.
It was like the Saturday Night Live sketch with George Washington, where they're talking about units, right? And the black guy there, he's like, and then we're in this new country, it'll be free for everybody, right? And then he's like, puts his hand on his shoulder and he goes, and there will be 5,280 feet per mile. He completely ignores the topic.
No, I think it's agreed. Me and Max are just going to pretend that Iron Horse is not even in the call. He's going to go mental.
Mentaler.
Yes, yeah. Oh, Cleon Jamison, what's he saying? Oh, he's attacking Brenda, which is nice. Yeah, they definitely get timed out for that.
Yeah, you don't need to be horrible people. Well, I guess they do. Yes.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah, you've got to remember that the Venn diagram of flat earthers and dick flutes is just a circle.
Yes. I do have.
Bad guy, $5 says, when you get your leg surgery, you should keep it preserved and then beat your neighbor with it. I just think getting my leg turned into a walking stick would be amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Or I like the stories of like zombie movies where like you rip off the arm from a zombie and then you use that arm to beat away the other zombies.
I'm liking the fact that I will have a detachable leg when I get my prosthetic. You know, so if someone tries to attack me, I'll just take off my leg and hit them with it.
And then there's a little cubby, and in the cubby you can put your weed in there.
Well, you don't think I've planned that already? Like this leg, right? It's gonna have like mobile Wi-Fi.
It's the whole leg.
It's gonna have like RGB. It's gonna have like
no, it's not.
It's gonna have a stereo in it.
No, it's not. It's the whole thing's gonna be hollow and filled with one thing.
Yeah, weed. Going through customs. What's that smell? Don't know what you mean.
Oh my gosh. Eclipse Chris says sent 2 screen caps on Discord DM of curve evidence. Well, let's have a look.
Max says that I should make my leg into a giant bong. You suck it out the toe.
Oh my gosh. Get it. Okay. This is good.
He's come back in on a different account, so they get timed out as well.
All right. So this is pretty good from Eclipse Chris. So hold on. Man, I'm looking forward to the debate tonight with Kevin.
I'm impressed you managed to get them to agree to just flat versus. He normally wants to argue about ice rinks or if a Samsung phone can see the moon. You know, never actually about flat Earth versus globe. I had like 12 debates with him on my channel, and to actually get him to focus on arguing about flat versus globe was hilarious. But he rages more than anyone.
There's no doubt he's not going to try to address the evidence. He's 100% going to try to avoid anything like that. But I have screenshots of him saying that that's what he's going to do.
Has he said what evidence he's going to bring?
No, none. Of course, I don't care about that because he's not going to. But it's just he agreed to try to have evidence, right? And so I'm just going to be on that. Okay, go ahead. This is flat versus globe. Your name says flat underneath it on the placard. Go ahead.
Ashton Richards says, turns out I don't even need an amputation. The doctor just wants to cook and eat my leg.
Oh. Do you get invited to the barbecue? At least?
Yeah, but there's never any food and everyone looks disappointed.
All right.
Dave McKeegan for £2 says, forget hip flask. You can make the first leg flask.
Probably not the first. Let's be honest.
Monkey Cat Pat $5. Walk up to someone 7 foot tall and bet them $1,000 you can kick them in the face.
All right.
Because I'm 6'1" and you know that probably wouldn't be that hard.
Okay. So here is a picture. This is from Eclipse Chris, where you can see the booster sticking up there. See that? You can't,
You aren't
Craig.
showing me it.
No, I'm not.
You aren't showing me.
No, I'm not gonna. No, I can't be bothered, Craig.
You can't even bother saying my name right. Why is my phone beeping? Who's calling me?
Hold on, I'll send
Who
it
the
to
fuck
you.
is calling me at 11:30?
11:30. I can't even share my screen, Craig. You're not even letting me, Craig.
There.
All right, fine. Mac Tune. All right, there you go.
Do you know, have I ever told you what my nickname in the Navy was?
Was it MacNeil?
No, it was Big Mac. Because they're so original.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh, he's a McNeil and he's big. He's Big Mac.
Okay.
Cheers, Chief.
Here's the, you can see the booster now. See it now? I'm sharing it to you.
Yes.
See it? Okay. So you can see the booster. And this is from a close camera. And here's a far camera. You can only see the fire. Booster with fire, only fire. See that? Curve.
Well, that's
Curve.
because of the angle of perspective attack.
Curve.
And the
Curve.
what you're not
Curve.
taking into account is that on a flat surface, things, they actually vanish bottom up because you have half your eyes covered all the time. In reality, you're not taking this into account, really. Have you considered? But mainly, have you considered nut up?
Yeah, I've considered that. And
your response
is you make a good point about the Naha thing, but I'm going to have to ask for evidence.
How many sock accounts does this guy have?
Maybe he just wants to come on right now and debate.
Hey, Drake Breezy 89. When you come back in with your next sock account, if you want to debate me, we can definitely do that. Oh, what's that? You're a coward and a keyboard warrior. Oh, I thought so. Do these scare you? Do the weapons I carry around scare you?
Look at that. You can't even see it underneath my shirt.
I am scared of my Monday stream. You know what I'm doing on Monday, right?
1,000 push-ups.
Yes. Because I hate myself.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fun. I'm not going to destroy myself. I'm going to take it easy. Make sure I'm doing it. I don't want to injure myself. And 1,000 push-ups is a big chance to injure myself.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to, make sure I do it properly. I'm going to take my time. I'm doing sets of 20 or 10 if I'm feeling fatigued with, a couple of minutes break in between. So it's probably going to take 3 to 4 hours to get it done. But, I still think being able to do that is pushing me, and I'll be proud of myself if I do it. Also, I can raise a bit of money for one of my favorite charities.
Well, that's cool.
You said you're doing 1,000 as well, right?
I did? I don't remember saying that.
You were going to do 1,000 pull-ups, right?
Oh my gosh.
With one hand.
Just tear up my rotator cuffs. Keith Ricketts is tuned. My son says hello. Hello, Keith Ricketts' son. Glad to say hello to you. Crack Pipe 2011 says, "What is a woman?" Yeah, thought so.
I don't know why flat earthers and morons have this. It's very simple. Look at me, guys. A woman, the biological human female. There's the answer to your question. It's not a hard thing. Just done.
Yeah, there didn't used to be, but now there is a distinction between biology and societal impressions of it. Whether or not you agree with it isn't your place.
No.
Right? Treat people with respect. There you go. Anyway, can you see this here?
I can.
It's this is the water bottle that I'm bringing, and I'm not showing yet the other bottle for the waste.
Your people.
Yes. This is the one.
And guys, remember, of course, the flat earthers just need one bottle.
They only need one.
Yeah.
But I
Crack
do.
Pipe is also in my chat.
I'll
Right?
I'll
Thanks for confirming Brenda is a freak. I did no such thing.
Yeah. The societal and the biological sometimes are not in sync with each other.
Yeah.
That's up to them.
Transgenderism isn't a new thing, and it's not a freakish thing. It's a thing that exists. Now it's a fact. You can't change biology. Okay, no one's going to ever argue with what biology is, but that doesn't change what people feel. And, the life that the person that you are, and it's about respect and, adapting to the world we live in. No one's forcing you to to agree with 57 different genders, but
you don't have, wrong. You don't have to agree with it to treat people with respect.
Exactly.
And what's interesting is a lot of the people of that persuasion tend to sort of kind of, but not really, have some sort of a biblical drive behind it. But if you look at how Jesus treated people, he was nice to them. He was nice to those people. The people that he had an issue with were the holier than thou religious leaders. He didn't get along with them. So, crack pipe 2011, Jesus didn't like your position. You're going to be looking at the Bible there.
Brenda's awesome, if anyone's wondering. So
I've met Brenda in person twice. So, all right. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Are you going to keep going?
Yes. No, I'm going to wrap it up as well. I'm going to get an early night. Tomorrow is going to be my last gym day. So I'm going to take 5 days off the gym before doing my 1,000 push-ups and just do a bunch of stretches and stuff for a few days. So I'm going to get a nice early night. Going to do my arm day tomorrow, and then tomorrow we have at 10 p.m. Dapper Dino and Peter Markley. Peter Markley.
Yes,
coming on to discuss young Earth creationism in a hopefully nice, respectful manner. And they're both actually funny and witty people, so it'd probably be a cool conversation to be part of.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. On Thursday, I am debating Shane Saint plagiarism about the topic of do maps prove the shape of the Earth? He says they do. He says they don't. I also say they don't because nobody says maps prove the shape of the Earth, but he seems to think that I think that they do. So, I'm just, when it's my turn to speak, I'm just going to go, I agree.
Is that on Jaren's?
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure you call him Shame.
Yes,
SHAME all the time.
Yeah. Shame Saint plagiarism. And
it's hold on. You got to practice this. Saint Plagiaire.
Shame Saint Plagiaire.
There you go.
Shame Saint Plagiaire. Yeah, that's right. And then I'm gonna listen to his nonsense, and then I'm just going to say, okay, here's what you're wrong about, but you also just strawman me because I don't hold the position you seem to think I do. That's because you don't understand the globe. And then I'm going to let him talk a bunch. And then once it's my time, I'm just going to insult him for a while.
Yeah. I've got a couple more super chats here. This is for you. PJ says, Craig needs to turn that leg into a lamp, obviously.
That has been a popular suggestion.
Like Christmas.
I don't actually know what the rules are in
story.
the UK about keeping medical waste.
Can you?
Like, I wonder if many people say to the doctor, like, once you're done, can I have that?
I'm going to preserve it. It's mine. You can't have it. Oh, my gosh.
Man, that's at least 6 stock accounts they've got.
I want to taxidermy the leg you chop off. Monkey Cat Pat Pat says, hey, Craig and Toon, you funny and smart. Thank you. Oh, my God.
Miracle says apparently you have to claim religious reasons to keep the leg. Right, I need to find out a Pastafarianism reason to keep my leg then.
Oh, my goodness, yes. Oh gosh. Okay.
I was instructed by the flying spaghetti monster to keep my leg. There we go. Done.
In a dream.
Yes. That was written down by somebody else.
All right. Icy Spin has updated the picture of me that this is what I will look like. There's just a lot of truth to that. I'll share it to you, Craig. There you go. This is what I'll look like in Antarctica. You got the solar panels, got the cameras, got all the sensors, got Starlink. So,
and the second you try to walk, you just go.
Seriously, I have all of that. Yes, I have.
Yeah, right. You've got all of that, but Witsit's literally turning up in his shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Why is it so cold? No one told me it'd be cold. Any word on if Witsit's prepared yet?
And I have no idea. Yeah.
It's in like 3 weeks, isn't it?
I fly out the 9th. I think the others are flying out the 10th. So, and it's November 19th.
That's really not far away. Yeah.
No.
Wow. Like
it's 21 days.
So if he hasn't done any preparation, like
I don't. Well, I mean, you need to get your cold weather gear, and so, Will is paying for that for them. I think it's being shipped to them, so they gotta, they'll have to go get it, or it'll go to their house or something.
I don't know. That Witsit's going to find a reason to not go, and then fight the contract of having to pay for it. That's just my opinion. I'd like to be proven wrong.
I can see him doing that.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap up, both of us. Make sure you subscribe to MC2, and of course you are. What am I talking about? People on MC2, make sure you subscribe to me. I'm not kidding. Do it right now. Yeah, you in particular.
Go.
Tell them to.
Go subscribe to Craig. And if you're at your limit, if you're like, I can only subscribe to 14 people, then you can unsubscribe here and go subscribe to Craig. I'm okay with that. Just still watch all my videos. But go ahead.
Just unsubscribe to Mr. Beast. It's fine.
He's got enough.
Thank you everyone for watching. Toon, enjoy your debate with Kevin. I will probably watch that tomorrow after my gym. Yeah, he's dumb. And see you everyone else tomorrow. See you later, Toon.
All right, we'll see you. I'm going to stick around here because I've got a few super chats to read before I head out. Got Darkstar 4400 says, Flurfs bring Nevidence. That works. It kind of flows. Nevidence. You got Jay Donashi says, are you going to have a special televised Tuesday when you go to Antarctica, or are you just going to recap afterward? I hope it's going to be the live when you go there. So we are still trying to nail down some of the things about the what access we'll have and our ability to do live streaming, and that we probably won't be able to really determine for sure until we're on the ground and we drop down the Starlink and plug it in and see what we get. Because we can test all day long here, but it doesn't tell us what it's going to be like for the satellite situation at 80 degrees south. So, but we're in the hotel ahead of time. So we leave. So I will be getting to Punta Arenas around the 9th or early on the 10th. And we leave for Antarctica on the 14th. So I will be doing things. I'll definitely do at least one, maybe 2 live streams there. I'll probably try to set up a debate. And same thing after. Now, the after is a little less certain about the timing. They said, book your flight so that you can change your flight if you need to. So, yes, did that. So we need to make sure that stuff afterwards might be a little more flexible, and we might even know things like calendar app not working. We may know things like oh well, we're delayed by 1 day. So if we're delayed by 1 day, we'll come back delayed by 1 day. And so those are the kinds of things we might know ahead of time. So anyway, I fly out Monday the 9th. That means that the 10th is a Tuesday. I will definitely live stream on December 10th that night. And then 11, 12, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm in Punta Arenas. So be looking for stuff. I've got a list of things that I'm going to be doing down there. One of the predictions about the globe is the angle that the sun sets. And I will be testing that and comparing to the angle that the flat Earth predicts. I also am I got a bunch of things, and I'm going to have to do like a whole live stream covering all of the different predictions that I have. And specifically, this is going to be an opportunity for flat earthers to present their predictions. For example, flat earthers, what will be the magnetic field strength in these different locations? What will be, and if you don't know, because there are no, actual scientists that are flat earthers, okay, then look at what you think the magnetic field of the Earth is, and then make some non-quantitative, make some qualitative predictions. For example, according to Flat Earth, the flat earthers, there is one magnet, the North Pole, the North Magnetic Pole is at the north. And so as you get farther away, it should get weaker. In fact, must get weaker. So in Minneapolis, I measure the field strength. In Atlanta, I measure the field strength. In Santiago, I measure the field strength. It should be reducing according to Flat Earth. And when we get to Punta Arenas, it's farther away from the magnet again. It must get weaker again. Will it? The qualitative prediction is that it will get weaker. It has to. And then same thing once we get to Antarctica. So yes, I'm bringing I'm actually working with a flat earther, Riz London, who's active on TikTok on that. So it's just a little mini device. So I'll be measuring that, for example. And I was asking him then today, what are the flat Earth predictions? And he sent me the globe predictions. I said, you can't use the globe to make the predictions. You have to use flat Earth. He's like, he didn't know how. He's like, well, let's just go measure it first. No, that's not science. Because he had very clearly said to me that the magnetic field of the Earth will falsify the globe, is what he said. But then he sent me all the flat Earth predictions, and they're identical to the globe predictions. I'm like, well, how could it falsify the globe? Rob, you're agreeing that we're going to get the globe predictions. Anyway, that's one of probably 20 things. I have, yes, I know who Riz is. He's a fraud. Yes. Everything about him is a big old mess. So I'm going to say, oh my gosh. Ruhif. So Starship sat, I don't know if it did. I don't remember sitting at that elevation more than others, but he said it sat at 128 kilometers for quite a while today, which is 420,000 feet. I don't know. We'll see. And then okay. Oh, I got a couple more. I got Icy Spin, and then we got Benny F says, "Hey, bring back some frozen Flurf tears." So yeah, the bottle actually says that. It actually says Flurf tears on it. You can't quite see it. This camera, the P1000, is not hooked up at the moment because this is hooked up, and it finished. Let me tell you, did it validate all files? Oh no, 11 mismatches. I have another faulty drive. I have 2 faulty drives. I'm glad that I tested. I shall return both of them. That's a kind of a letdown. Here's the drive. It's this. It's a Samsung 4 terabyte SSD. And right here, 870 EVO from Samsung, 4 terabyte. So 2 of them going back. Glad I wrote that Python to test them. I've tested a bunch of other drives. They all passed. So we're good. We're good there. So, yeah, I don't know if I can bring back any frozen flurf tears because, I mean, we need to have them to consume them. Have I rented a tux for the press conference yet? All right, Albino Bide Guy says, can I join your advice real fast? Have a great debunk for you. You can use the dome light stuff. They go with something I haven't heard before. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Hold on. Send me a message on Discord. I'll fire up the Zoom call here. And okay. The next thing I got coming is the debate. Let's see. An hour from now I'll be firing that up. So I got home. I said hi to everybody. I ran in here. So 11 files missing on your hard drive. You should ask Flatside. He might know where they are. No, they're not missing. They did not match the checksum. That's what happened. The file got written, came back later, pulled the data out, did a SHA-256 hash on it, and the numbers didn't match. So, all right, Albino Bad Guy. Let's see. There it is. Okay, I got your email. Here it comes. There's the Zoom link on the way. And let's get this going. All right. And if you want, you go to my website, mc2.net/TFE, and I've got a bunch of stuff on there started for, and then a link. I haven't put the link in yet, but you could search on my website for TFE. You'll find it. The list of experiments that I'm doing is on there. So if you want, you can do that. All right. Albino. Flat Earth is Nonsense says, you're the absolute best Flurf Annihilator. Thank you for that. Icy Spin says, no chance it's software related on the drive testing. Well, I've used it to test several other drives. 15 other drives so far. Smaller drives. This is the biggest one. But I mean, what software? It writes a file and then it reads the file and does a hash on it. And 11 of them failed out of the how many? 38,000. 38,000 files, 11 did not match the hash. So I'm not going to risk that. And am I going to try to see if it's my fault? I don't know. It's not a complicated program. Simpler programs are less likely to have errors in it, but I don't know. I did email you back, Albino. I replied to your email. So Charlie Welch. Tomorrow I got a notification from Amazon that the other 4 of these will be delivered tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to try to fly with 6 of these. So any advice on flying with 6 of these? Why 6? Well, spares. Spares is the answer to everything. So, is a Flurf coming on now with evidence? No, Icy Spin. A Flurf is coming on in about an hour with no evidence. It's going to be on Modern Day Debate and here. It's Kevin from Facebook. And he is French Canadian. So double up on your facepalm protection, please. Could it not be the enclosure? So here's the problem, Lisa. All right, if you're familiar with Macs, so this drive here, 1 terabyte drive, is I did a GUID partitioning scheme and then did APFS. APFS is Apple's newest file system. I tried that on this particular drive and it failed. And I didn't know if it was the bridge chipset, the USB to SATA, or if it was the drive. So I put this in and formatted it APFS, no problem. I put this in, I formatted APFS, and it doesn't work. I have to change it to Apple's older file system, the HFS Plus journal. So something is going on there, but, and I'll tell you, this is interesting. I have this bridge chipset here, USB, SATA. This drive worked on APFS on this bridge chipset. It could be something about the chipset. I don't know. So this is a Sobrent drive case, and it's a really good. It's like the best. Hey, I hear you. Just a second. It's the best I could find for this type of bridge chipset. There's for $12. It's not the best I could find for $12. It's the best I could find. Like there's others, but in this case, in this size, I don't find any others that are better. So, all right. I hear you, Albino. How you doing?
Believe it or not, I managed to break a vocal cord.
Oh, no. Broke a vocal cord. Okay.
Yeah, long story, but I just wanted to be real quick about one thing that would be maybe helpful about their debate about how all the lights in the sky are fixed in this dome that circulates. The one thing I never hear is sometimes one of them goes backwards compared to the rest going around. For example, Mars.
Yes.
I think it was Copernicus that originally discovered that and tried to work things out. So how do you explain if everything's a light in the sky and just fixed in the dome, how could everything be going in one direction, and yet one light like Mars or, a different planet might go backwards as Earth, overtakes it?
Yeah. Well, some have tried, and some just wave it off. They just say, it's just lights in the sky. That's it. As
sure,
if,
but if they're all fixed in the dome, they'd all have to rotate together.
Oh yeah, well they of course say they're not fixed in the dome then, right? When you're just making up crap, then you can just make up some new crap every time that you're faced with something else that doesn't work.
Well, absolutely. It's we don't know what it is. Yeah, I understand that argument, but it's I was thinking about that one, and I thought, if they're fixed in the dome and everything's going one way and you bring that up, it's at least may baffle them for a moment before they start saying, well, we don't know what they are.
Yeah, and they go into the fourth law of Fleur, They went from it's embedded in the dome to they just randomly move around the dome. Well, not randomly. There's a particular order that completely matches Keplerian orbits, but it's definitely not Keplerian orbits. They're just something else that we don't need to provide any evidence for. Well, that doesn't make sense.
Anyway, that's all I had. I wanted to bring that one up because I thought it was interesting, and it's one I haven't necessarily heard that argument made before. So,
well, Whitsitt uses it a lot now because Whitsitt is a geocentrist and he's completely ditched flat Earth. So he talks about it because geocentrism has a better answer than flat Earth. Flat Earthers' answer is just it's lights in the sky. Geocentrism's answer for it is things move however they need to move for us to have our position be true, never mind the forces. But at least they're the right distances. So
speaking of which, if I had made a music video that was a cover of another song, but not necessarily a cover, more of a parody, Are you allowed to show that?
Yeah, as long as there's no copyright issues with it.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't know how the copyrights work on that.
Yeah, just don't cover
if I
anything.
Just change the words. If I change the words to the song.
Well, if you take the original music,
right,
and then just change the words, that probably will get flagged.
Okay.
But if you actually have a unique version of the music, then it's probably okay. Unless it's the Eagles. The Eagles will then still copyright strike you and give you a hard strike on your channel. Bad news. So stay away from the Eagles.
I was thinking of Foo Fighters, Where Goes My Hero, and make it for Witsit for his doing math, and says, where goes the zero?
Yeah. All right.
That's all I had. Just like I said, I wanted to be quick. Thanks for having me on. My voice is having a hard time until that heals up.
Yeah, get that better, man.
I hope so. All right.
All right, thank you.
Good stuff. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. A good question here from Uncle Charlie. Why is this liar quickly, quietly, silently? We call him Funeral Fart. Why is Funeral Fart a mod in this room? He's insulting trusted friends of this channel. So, I'm okay with people, like I'll say, don't do that. But if people do that, they do that. If they insult people, they do. And I'll just encourage people, be better people than to just have some low level insult. There are certainly times for low level insults, right? Flat earthers are stupid. It's okay to say that flat earthers are stupid. It's a factual statement. But the reason why is because Funeral Fart had been getting messages blocked and timed out and deleted that I would not want to. I don't see a need for them to be blocked or deleted, and was consistent enough and was not really going past anything that I'd say I don't want absolutely on here. And I say, all right, I'll extend that a little bit to Funeral Fart here. So, but I'm happy also, Uncle Charlie, to throw a wrench at you. So you now are wrenched. So, all right. Now, I mean, here look right here. What he's saying here, I don't know, true or not. Probably not true, right? He's a flatty, a lot of stuff, not true. But but it's okay to say. So if somebody said, "Oh, I'm a mod, I'm going to block it," don't block it. It's okay. So, anyway, we got that. Okay, we're wrapped up. I'm gonna cue the ending outro music. Somebody asked what was the error when I was trying to do the format. I looked at it. I looked it up. I didn't get much answer to it. I'm like, I don't care to debug things, right? I buy a product. It needs to work. If it doesn't work, I'll just send it back and get something that does work. I'm not willing to have to struggle to debug something that should just be plug and play and then bring it to Antarctica. Hell no. I want to plug it in and it works the first time without question. I'm unwilling to do anything other than that for something I'm bringing along, especially if you pay the good money for something like this. So there's no question it has to work. But I am looking for, if somebody has a lead on a USB to SATA bridge, I'd be happy to use something other than the one from Sabrent or Sabrent. I'm not sure. This is a really good chipset. For this particular drive, it got a solid throughput of 450 megabytes per second. It wrote data at 450 megabytes per second. So I'm impressed with that. I'm unimpressed that the data was written incorrectly. But the chipset is good. That speaks to the chipset to be able to handle that, because this guy didn't do it that fast, right? It's not rated that fast. I don't know what this is. It's out of an old device. I have no idea the provenance of this. So anyway, there you go. It's got to work, but I'm good. I probably have time to swap them out. So, and if the next ones don't work, then I won't buy that brand again. Maybe I won't buy that brand anyway. But anyway, everybody, thank you very much. I'll see you in about an hour, a little less, for a debate with good old Kevin. Here we go.
MC2, drop that beat.
All right. Let it flow. Let yourself go. So I know that is the tempo.
So, yeah, let's do this. So,
let's do this. Yo, it's MC2, the debunking tycoon. I shatter flat earthers, make them face the moon. Your attempts are decent, but they'll swoon in the face of my logic like a deflated balloon.
Oh, MC2, the monsoon cartoons. On your real say, send it first to their views. Your theories are like old brooms, sweeping ignorance or just spreading the views.
FDFE stands for fumbling the facts, evidently. I drop truth bombs so splendidly. Your approach is soft, mine's unrelenting. I bring the science while you're just venting.
MC2, the buffoon with silver spoon. I tackle pseudoscience, make them change their tune. You're the sidekick, I'm the room. When it comes to debunking, I'm the room.
But hey, FTFE, we share the creed to educate and debunk the plant the seed. Though in this rap, it's clear indeed I've got the upper hand in word and deed. All right, hold on a second. The Zoom call died. Everything died. No.